Welcome to Mr. Reviews. Today I'm going to review JetBeam's RRT-0 R5 flashlight and compare its features with Sunwayman's V11R and Nitecore's SRT3. And in the interest of full disclosure, I purchased this product with my own money. I am not being paid for this review and all the opinions expressed in this video are my own. With that being said, let's take a look at some quick specs. Now that's out of the way, this is the first in its series to feature a variable output control ring and debuted in early 2011. I've owned this flashlight for about 6 years, but it has since been discontinued. The previous model, the R2, only had 5 preset levels of brightness. There have been a few models with upgraded LEDs since the R5, such as the S2, XML, L2, and the latest model which you can still find features an XML T6 LED, also known as the RRT-0 SE model. As of this posting, you can find one on Amazon for about $63, but they only have one left in stock. You can also find it on Battery Junction, but it's going to cost $98 and they only have 2 left in stock. GearBest and Banggood.com seem to be completely out of stock. I'll leave Amazon links in the description below. Those are affiliate links, which means if you purchase products using my links, I will receive a small commission at no extra cost to you. This helps support the channel and I would be very grateful if you did. Moving on. There are only 2 other flashlight makers that I know of with similar features as the R5, and they are Sunwayman's V11R and Nitecore's SRT3. All 3 of these models feature a control ring that allow you to dial in the exact amount of light you need, and a AA adapter so you can use easily available cells. Of these 3, the R5 uses the oldest LED technology in the Cree XPG R5 LED. It was originally advertised as a 255 lumen max output flashlight, but if I'm not mistaken, that was assuming you used a CR123 battery, which is a 3-volt battery. Nowadays, flashlight makers advertise their max lumens assuming you use rechargeable lithium batteries, such as RCR123s, which push out 3.7 volts, giving you a higher light output. If I had to guess, I would say the R5 can output 500 lumens on a 3.7 volt rechargeable battery, like a 14500, but don't quote me on that. Unfortunately, I can't seem to find any detailed reviews or tests done on this particular model like I used to in the Candle Power forums, and the flashlightreviews.com I remember doesn't seem to exist anymore. The flashlight should also max out at about 180 lumens on regular alkaline AA batteries, which is pretty impressive. The build quality on this flashlight is excellent. The LED is perfectly centered. I once had a cheap LED flashlight where it was off-center so the beam shot was lopsided. You'll notice the reflector is an orange peel reflector. This gives you a smooth flood with no irregular hotspots or coronas. That being said, this flashlight is definitely not a thrower. It works better as an area light. I'll do some beam shots at the end of this video. The body is all aluminum alloy with the exception of the bezel, control ring, and the spring clip, which are stainless steel. The body is Type 3 hard-anodized with a natural gray color, so it's very resistant to scratches. If you ever owned a mag light for an extended period of time, then you'll know how easily Type 2 anodizing scratches. I like how the clip goes almost to the top to give it a lower profile in the pocket. The clip is also removable. You can also reverse the direction of the clip, however it may interfere with the operation of the control ring by rubbing against it. You may want to avoid removing and reattaching the clip too often as it could scratch the finish. The clip also acts as an anti-roll device. The flashlight can also stand on its tail pretty firmly. The rubber tail switch might be a little worn in on my flashlight, but it ever so slightly touches the surface. It's a forward clicky switch so you can do momentary on and off by slightly pressing on the tail cap. And you can switch it on by pressing it down all the way. Then you can control the intensity of the light by twisting this control ring. It uses magnetic Hall effect sensors to control the brightness, so all the circuitry should be protected inside the tube. If you get any dust or dirt between the control ring and the tube giving you a gritty feeling, you should just be able to clean it out, but I've owned this for about 6 years and the control ring still feels buttery smooth. It actually feels very pleasing. Some users have expressed concerns that it might adjust accidentally while handling it, but I never experienced that problem. There is a slight play in the control ring, however. You might be able to hear it on camera. From other reviews I've seen, the V11R's control ring is very tight and doesn't spin as easily. Some like it that way because it feels more secure and others complained about it. Maybe they were used to the RRT-0. A feature I really like about the V11R is that it actually has indicators on it so you know exactly what brightness setting it's on. The RRT-0 and the Nitecore SRT3 don't have any indicators, so you'll just have to remember what setting you left it on. As for modes, this flashlight has 3. All the way to the right when you hit a wall is the max setting. Then, as you turn it to the left, the brightness goes down, all the way down to 0.003 lumens until you feel it detent, and that's the standby off mode. You could keep the clicky switch on and the ring in the standby off mode, but it will continue to draw power from the battery and potentially drain it in just a matter of days, so I would advise against that. Since the tail cap is a mechanical switch, when it's off, it completely breaks the circuit, preventing the battery from draining, aside from the natural drain that occurs over time with all unused batteries. Now to the left of the standby mode is the strobe light for signaling or blinding assailants. There's no detent, it's just a short trip until you hit a wall. So the only detent is the standby off mode. You hit a wall for the strobe, a detent for standby off, then varying levels of brightness till you hit another wall at the brightest setting. There's one more function I only recently discovered by accident. Apparently it's a hidden function as it wasn't even written in the directions, but there's an SOS mode. To activate it, you twist the ring back and forth 5 times. And you can control the intensity of the light. To turn it off, you can either twist the ring to the standby off mode, then turn it back on, or you can click the switch off and on. On the newer SE model, they added a dedicated detent on the control ring next to the strobe function, so it's nice that they added that. The flashlight also comes with an extra O-ring, a spare rubber tail cap, a lanyard, and a AA adapter. As far as form factor goes, I prefer the Sunwayman V11R. It's slimmer and shorter compared to the RRT-0 and the Nitecore. I like the straight lines along the entire length of the tube. Compared with the RRT-0, you'll notice it gets thicker towards the head. The Nitecore looks a bit more rugged, which makes sense since it's marketed towards law enforcement. The tail end even looks like the RRT-0, but the bezel is at least a bit crenulated, whereas the RRT-0 and the V11R is flat. As far as functions go, the Nitecore has the most, which includes an extra red and blue LED, strobe, beacon, SOS, in addition to a variable output. The V11R doesn't have any extra functions apart from the variable output, so there's no strobe, SOS, or beacon modes, which is almost a deal breaker in my opinion. If I could afford to purchase another flashlight, I would probably go for the SRT3. When it comes to flashlights, I'm a firm believer in single cell light, so you can avoid those times when you have a fresh battery but your flashlight requires 2 or more cells. And the fact that these flashlights come with an adapter to let you choose between CR123 or AA batteries, I'm sold. And if you buy battery adapters, you can even use AAA batteries in these. So you can choose between 3 different battery sizes and all their rechargeable equivalents, giving you a much wider variety of cell options to power your flashlight. This flashlight also comes with a drive circuit with over-discharge protection. If the batteries reach a certain voltage, the flashlight will start blinking and then shut off to prevent the battery from completely draining. So this flashlight is best suited with rechargeables. The flashlight is also IPX8 waterproof and can withstand being submerged underwater. I'll conclude this review with some beam shots on my wall. The tint on my LED, by the way, is a nice neutral white with a purplish hue on the outermost edges of the spill beam. I prefer warm colors, but I'm not against neutral whites. When it starts getting green, that's where I draw the line. Again, you can find Amazon links to all the products you saw in this video in the description below. If you found any of this info helpful, please hit that like button. Coming up next on Mitsu Reviews, I'm going to review my watch, which is a solar-powered Citizen EcoDrive, so if that's something you might be interested in, subscribe and click the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.